From a hat podcast at gmail.com. What's in your head, Ed? What's in your head, Ed? Zombie. 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 E. I love Denzel Washington. He is just a handsome boy. Or man, a handsome man.
I also like Denzel Washington.
Yeah. Man on Fire.
Training Day.
Denzel Washington.
Flight something or other. That one where he played a pilot on cocaine.
I forgot about that. That's just called Flight.
Welcome to From a Hat, the show where we draw a topic out of a hat, just like it says in the title. I'm Ben.
I'm Phoenix.
And I'm Dom.
Who's drawing?
Dom.
Yes.
Here you go.
Yeet. So keen. The topic is Long Haul American Wasteland. Long Hawk. Tony Hawk, American Wasteland.
Long Haul, American Wasteland.
I am actually so much more keen now that I realise what this is about.
Okay, Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. There's a couple of songs on the soundtrack that work really well.
Oh, God.
Like the song at the opening cutscene, I Want to Live in Los Angeles.
Oh, I want to live in Los Angeles. I want to live in Los Angeles.
Holiday by Green Day is on the soundtrack to that.
Nice.
It's amazing to skate to.
So true. Nah, I want to live in Los Angeles. Do that one, yeah.
Alright, cool.
I met a man, he was a good man, sailing and shoring, dancing the beta can, making me foreign, oh yeah.
I fucking love that game.
Yeah.
Never played it.
I will
Okay.
admit, recently on one of these episodes, I did say that it's the best Tony Hawk game. I know that's not true. From like a personal enjoyment level, it's also not true. But from a pure like what you can do based on the original model of what the Tony Hawk's games were, it's the best one.
That's actually
Technically
true.
speaking. Like personally, I prefer Thug 2.
Right.
Mechanically, it's the peak of the series. Because it's right before they went to Proving Ground and screwed everything up.
Then came Project 8 and Proving Ground, which tried to put in more like mechanics from the skate games, which just don't work in a Tony Hawk environment where you're doing stupid stuff like making impossible gaps and you jump 10 feet in the air.
It's just like, it just didn't make any sense when they did that, because it's like, you had a unique product. Like, your product had a unique appeal compared to the skate games. And then you wanted to make it more like that so you had less of a distinct place in the market. Like, that makes no sense, but video game companies do that all the time.
But they tried to retain some of the uniqueness of it, which I think really hurt it a lot in Proving Ground. But I have a lot of issues with American Wasteland.
Okay.
I don't understand how that... I have an issue with the entire Tony Hawk series.
I have played American Wasteland probably at least 10 times.
Same.
The entire way.
Probably more.
Probably more. And so anything that you say, I will have an opinion about.
Fair.
Okay, what doesn't make sense to you?
So it's like in a lot of trading card anime or whatever, where the entire culture revolves around that one thing, except with skateboarding.
No, that is categorically untrue. The opening cutscene to American Wasteland is you're on a bus to Los Angeles.
The opening cutscene of American Wasteland is Murph from the main game skating along down Hollywood Boulevard.
There's a main game.
Yeah, like the story mode.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like an overarching plot through the games.
Yeah,
no. There's also the fact that in American Wasteland, it's established that all the Pro Skater games, Tony Hawk's Underground 1 and 2, are both fictional.
Yeah.
They're all just video games in that world.
Oh.
But it's also a world where literally every single corner is a half pipe.
Yeah.
And there's just kickers everywhere, and there's all this
Yeah.
It's a world that's built for skateboarding.
And okay, but the first time you're introduced to your character, he's on a bus next to this like blonde model who says that she wants to come to Los Angeles to be an actor, and your character's like, I just wanted to come here to get away from all of it. But I'm at least from that, and then there's a thing where you have to interrupt a crowd of protesters by like doing a McTwist over them or something.
No, you destroy a theater.
the T-Rex.
And knock a giant T-Rex head down, killing one of them.
Yes, but through that, we see that this entire world does not revolve around skating.
Whatever happened to just skateboard games where you skate around, do cool tricks, and that's the story?
They wanted a story. Yeah. I personally really enjoy the Tony Hawk's series stories.
Thug 1 is one of the greatest video game stories ever told. Thug 2, I know you're not going to like this, but yeah. And American Wasteland came back up for me. Not as good as Thug 1, but...
But then again, I have a lot of nostalgia attached to Thug 2 because I was big into Jackass, and Thug 2 is the closest thing to the Jackass game until the Jackass game came out, which is terrible. But I really like Thug 2 because I enjoy the story. I enjoy how all the locations.
Yeah.
I really like the end level of Skatopia.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. My least favourite part of Thug 2 is the end level. Yeah, I hated the last level and the ending of the story.
I just realised that you guys Thug is Tony Hawk's Underground.
Yes, sorry, Phoenix. Thug is Tony Hawk's Underground. The listeners should know that.
Thug 1 and then Thug 2 World Domination. Sorry, no, World Destruction Tour.
Yeah.
Because that's what the name of the tour is. It's also established in... Okay, so... so we're in Tony Hawk's American Wasteland because that's the one that we're talking about.
Yes.
So none of those games happened. But in American Wasteland there is magic. Because you learn from that ancient Chinese priest how to do skate moves.
Yes.
That doesn't sound like magic. That sounds like learning how to skate.
But he teaches you how to do the supernatural, like the focus mode. If you push both thumbsticks in, you can like slow down time and do more tricks and learn and like perfect things.
Was that in American Wasteland?
Yeah.
I thought that the slow down time thing came in Proving Ground.
No, that's create a trick.
Yeah.
But this is like, you know how you can do focus mode where you can push in both thumbsticks and the wall goes...
Is that in American
And it's
Wasteland?
like really slow and it doesn't zoom in on the board. It's still up. It's in Thug 1 and 2. It is.
Okay. That I do not remember. But, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. Oh, and you also learn parkour from a French guy in an alley. I love that mission.
And you learned BMX from just some biker dude.
Aren't they skating games?
Oh, yeah, you can ride bikes in American Wasteland.
That's why American Wasteland is the top of the mechanics section.
When I was a kid, and
you don't learn proper parkour. You learn basic shit like... Here's how to get up this wall, and here's how to do a double jump.
Well, but in American Wasteland, you could do a double jump. In American Wasteland, you could actually like run up the walls to get stuff, whereas before you had to like jump and hope that you could,
of course,
get the ledge.
So you could just walk around though.
You can just walk.
Yeah,
around.
You can do that in Thug 1 and 2.
Thug 1, they introduced that you could get off your board.
I don't like it
because you need to be able to get off your board to get a better spot.
A lot of people didn't like it. Like the people that really didn't like the direction that Thug took the series were the people that the main problem was the fact that you could get off the board. They felt distracted from the skating.
Skateboarding.
But it's actually really
should be
good,
all about skateboarding.
You're objectively
But you need to be able to get off the board to get to better skate spots.
It's not just build ramps.
That's what the fucking problem I've been raising is. That implies the entire world revolves around skateboarding.
As it should. Skateboarding game.
But there are plenty of characters in the story who don't skate.
In American Wasteland, everyone skates.
That's not true. The
bike guy doesn't. He bikes.
He can skate though.
The girl on the bus doesn't skate.
You can unlock her as a character.
The crowd of protesters do not skate.
Are they protesting skating?
No, they're protesting some construction. Yeah. So they might be skaters.
Okay.
They might just not like the construction.
They might be, but there are aspects to people's personalities that express the ability to have an identity that doesn't revolve around skating, is what I would argue.
The only character who explicitly does not skate is the guy in the brief flashback of why you're leaving your hometown who says, "No skating here, punk."
Yeah.
And your dad. Those are the only two people who explicitly do not skate. Everyone else is up for interpretation.
Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but when...
And maybe Ben Hoofleck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so I like...
Because you did a kickflip over him.
Yeah. I disagree with the idea that it's all about skating, but I agree that it is the world exists more around skating than the real world does. What I want to talk about is the pitch for American Wasteland. Its big marketing campaign was that it didn't have loading screens.
That was a big part of the marketing.
That is, like, okay, it's sort of true. It was true for the first time you ever play the game. When you go from mission to mission, like when you finish all the story missions in one area and then you go to like the next level, like it would be in another.
So you
skate
start
game.
in Hollywood,
Yeah,
and then you go to
Beverly
Hills, and then you go to
Santa Monica.
No, you go to a ranch,
Well, yeah, you go to the ranch, but then you go back to Beverly Hills to go to Santa Monica.
and then you go from there to an oil rig.
An oil rig.
And then from that oil... No, you've also, in between, you go to downtown. You go to downtown LA, where you enter a skate competition. So you go to a skate park,
yes.
and then you go to the oil rig.
That's where you
No,
learn
and then you go to
graffiti.
Santa Monica.
Then you go to Santa
Then
Monica.
you go to Santa Monica, then you go to the oil rig, then you come back from the oil rig, then you've got to go to East Los Angeles,
Yes.
and then you've got to go to a casino.
How you get
That's
to the
right.
Oil rig?
Casino.
Boat.
Oh, East Los Angeles. Yeah, and so this is the thing where it doesn't have loading screens, is that the entire time you can skate on the boat while it, like, transports you.
And there's big corridors between each thing.
Yeah, so
That
you go from Hollywood to Beverly Hills by going through, like, an airport, and it's just a really long corridor.
Sure.
And
Please imply it's a subway.
Oh.
No, Hollywood to Beverly Hills, you go to a shopping mall.
Shopping mall.
And
that
then to
actually
get
sounds
to
right.
downtown LA from Hollywood, you go through what is apparently a subway station.
Yes.
And then to get to the skate park, you go through a corridor.
Yeah, it's just like sort of... It looks
then-
like a sewerage.
Yeah,
like,
and then to get to East... No, that's East LA. You go through a literal sewer pipe.
Right, yeah.
And then to get back from the oil rig, you've got to go through an underground oil pipe.
oil pipe, yeah.
Do you think a guy can teach me how to do a double jump? A French guy?
French guy.
Maybe.
Yeah. Your brother can probably do it.
A double jump?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably figuring that out.
Yeah.
Maybe my cat can teach you.
Mm.
But anyway.
So, so the idea was that it didn't have any loading screens because it sort of had these in-between levels that you could go through.
Yeah.
This works while you're going through the story. Once you go back into, like, playground mode or whatever, you can just skate around. A lot of the time, you'll be, like, you'll be riding through the shopping mall from one level to the other,
Yeah.
and it will have to stop to load.
It also slows you down.
Yes.
Like, it makes you go at a certain speed and you can't go any faster because it's like, we need
to load the next stage.
A lot of that was resolved because I played the PS2 version.
Yeah.
And then when I got my Xbox 360, I was like, oh, cool, I could probably play on this.
Is it on Xbox 360?
Yeah. It was like the last... I don't know. It's on there, but it's alright.
It's alright.
There's less of the issue. It loads a bit quicker.
Yeah, it should. But when I was a kid, blew my mind. No loading screens, because the ad, which is great, is Tony Hawk skating through a place, and then he just hits a wall and falls over, and he looks up, and then it cuts, and there's this big wall, and it just says loading, and he's like, "Oh man." Yes, Tony Hawk's American Wasteland. What is it? You've already said that it's the mechanics that you like so much.
It's not that I like the mechanics, it's that I recognize the mechanics are at their best.
At the best, yeah. The formula that was established by Thug One
It reached its natural apex in this game.
in American Wasteland. Yes.
Why is it called American Wasteland?
Because the main love interest in the game wants to start her own skateboarding magazine, like a fanzine, and she wants to call it American Wasteland.
Sure. And I'm guessing at the end of the game you make that happen.
You make a skate park, which you dub which is called the Skate Ranch, which you dub American Wasteland, and then you use some money from profits you make from selling a video to help finance her magazine.
Yeah, of course.
And the whole
To get laid, obviously.
The whole plot of the game is that, like, with the T-Rex thing, you skate around trying
when you
to
murder someone.
Yeah.
You skate
in
around
cold blood.
trying to find
That's
these,
not even the last murder of the game.
Of course not, because in a skating game there should just be murder.
trying to find these, like, big landmarks, and then you skate on them to, like, take them apart, and then you transport them to the skate park, and then at the end of the game it's like this dream skate land. And and there's this like sub story about how the ranch that you used to be at that you were at used to be this like
ancient myth, like well not ancient,
yeah,
this old school from like early days of skating. Sick park called Green Pipes Point, which was skated by what are they called? The Lords of Dogtown.
Yeah, Lords of Dogtown.
Who are skating's forefathers.
Yeah. I know the Lords.
And the guy who owns the skate ranch that you're owns the skate ranch that you're hanging out on was mates with them all.
Yeah.
And
skated in a swimming pool with no water.
Yeah. And if you tell like he wants to bring back Green Pipes Point to its former glory, but
he's just trying to get the cash together to buy it.
Everyone he talks to people about it say that it's a myth and it doesn't exist. So he can't convince people to like put the funds together to go get it.
Sure.
And the characters are really good. There's Boone,
who is just a big lad in cut-off denim shorts, combat boots, no shirt,
thick skull, shaved head.
He's a metalhead skater.
Of course.
Then you've got Dave, who is a fat nerd who plays a lot of Tony Hawk video games.
Every useless thing you ever needed to know, just ask Dave.
And then you got Murph.
I say that quote all the time.
Is it Murph?
Murph, yes.
Murph or Murphy.
Whatever.
But he's like the typical Hollywood guy. You need a guy, he knows a guy.
He knows a guy.
Yeah.
He knows a guy for everything. He's the guy who gets a lot of your shit back to the skate ranch.
Sure. But yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
All of this is so
like, there's
weird.
it's like the dinosaur murder isn't even the last murder of the game, because to get to downtown LA, you have to
murder people.
You have to help this guy who's like, the subway's blocked. I can't believe the subway's blocked.
And he wants to do like a terrorist attack.
He's like, if you help me get my suitcase back, I'll unblock the subway. And you get him, and he's got a fucking rocket launcher.
Yeah.
And he just blows up some construction equipment with it. And you're like, that's a terrorist.
Yeah.
He looks like an angrier version of Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents.
Can you choose not to blow up the subway?
No, you have to.
Can you choose not to kill someone with a dinosaur head?
No, okay, here's the thing. You say that, like, people always say that about video games. Like, you can't do this. You can't not do this because you have to do it to progress the story. But the thing about video games is that they're an interactive medium, and they only keep going if you choose to do that. So you can... Like, there was a game once where it's like a not choose your own adventure, but it's like an adventure game.
Sure.
And you keep traveling from island to island, and there's this, like, goddess who's watching over. And she gets to... And you have all these characters... And you get to this island, and you have to choose one of the characters to die so that you can get through. And you can choose any of the characters, even yourself, and then only once they kill that character, and you have to kill them, or, like, you're responsible for their death, even if it's yourself. And then everyone else can move on.
Right.
And someone made a forum post about this game and was like, I hate this game. Like, I've built such an attachment to the characters. Why are you making me kill these characters to get to the next island? And the creator was like, you don't have to get to the next island. Like, if you have grown an attachment to these characters,
I get that.
You are playing the character. If you value these characters' lives over getting to the next island, then just choose to stay.
I'm just saying.
You know?
At no point is it implied beforehand that your intention is, if we kill this guy, we can get through. It's not clarified like, oh yeah, if you do this, you'll be killing this person. It's pure accidental stuff.
Yeah, of course.
There's also a bit where you knock a guy off a crane with some water balloons and he falls. He survives.
Why do you have water balloons?
Because you need to get rid of some seagulls.
Yes.
What a bizarre sounding game.
It
is. A game that doesn't... If you took away the fact that it was called Tony Hawk and just told me, there's a bit where you have to knock over a T-Rex head, I'd be like, oh, so this is not a skating game. This is a game where random junk happens. Then you go, also, you do all of it and you're on a skateboard.
So you start on a bus to Hollywood. Right?
When it should be a skateboard to Hollywood.
You got to catch a bus.
The bus is shaped like a giant skateboard. No,
that's not true. You're coming from, it's implied Kentucky.
Okay.
Right? You're
just a small town boy.
You've got like 5 choices of base design skater, which is basically their way of saying, pick your fucking skin color.
Can be a girl?
No.
Oh, what?
You can be a girl.
You can't?
Ah,
Mate, can
that's so unwoke.
Blowing my mind.
I think you can.
Because you can definitely be...
You can do it in Thug 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You can't... No, you can't do it in American Wasteland. Because I remember being like, oh, man.
That's lame.
But anyway.
That's lame.
I guess
So-
it's because they didn't want to have a gay relationship.
They have one in fucking... In Thug 1.
Who?
It's implied that you're fucking... You and her experiments will be gay.
Okay. I don't
Anyway.
think that's true, but okay.
Anyway.
Yes.
So you're on this bus, right? And you get off and you get to Hollywood and you've made friends on this long bus ride with the hot blonde chick sitting next to you.
Of course. Who wants to be an actress or whatever?
Yeah. He's like, I've got an audition to play a waitress tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's like, of course you fucking do. You get off the bus and the first thing that happens to you is you get smacked in the head by a skateboard from one of the dickhead locals.
Of course.
Who literally says, go back to Kentucky, farm boy.
That's funny.
And then he
Then
steals
your
stuff.
shit.
Yeah.
Good.
Except,
deserve it.
does he steal your board?
Yes, because... Oh,
No, because you get to keep your board.
yeah. But you... Yeah, you're right.
So,
yeah, of course, the skateboarder doesn't steal the skateboard.
Well, he already has a
everything else.
skateboard, Phoenix.
So-
He's a skater.
You can always use more.
then you meet
True.
your first mate, who is the main love interest.
Uh-huh.
Boop, 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 boop.
You meet...
Sorry, my phone went off.
You meet the love interest, and then she... I think it's a very good introduction to the game. She just, like, shows you around, tells you, hey, go get a new look.
Go get some new clothes and a haircut. You look like fucking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you're from Kentucky.
Yeah.
So you go in, you get like a jacket and a t-shirt or whatever the fuck. You get a nice new hairstyle, maybe a beard.
Yep.
You come out, and she's like, not too shabby. You're like, great. Now where are the guys who took my stuff? She's like, no, you got to learn how to do some cool shit before you can stand up to them.
So true.
So first she's like, go learn how to skate from doing the challenges on the skate shop windows to earn experience points or whatever the fuck to get better stats. So then you do that, and then she's like, this guy will teach you how to do this. So this guy teaches you how to do like air tricks, and then you go, and this guy will teach you how to do reverts and manuals.
This is actually, I think, my biggest problem with American Wasteland, as compared to Thug 1, is this, like, to me it falls into the trope of, like, the Lego movie and other things where this guy, this completely, like, untalented dumbass, shows up and this girl tells him everything he needs to do because for some reason he's the chosen one, even though she's clearly smarter and more talented than him, and the story's not about her. Like, to me, Thug 1 didn't have any of that. It was, to me, it was a completely unique story, but American Wasteland just feels so formulaic and relying on tropes.
The reason I think it doesn't, because the reason I don't think it's fully conformed to that trope is that it's implied that this stuff, it's happening because you're the one doing it, but it's implied that it wouldn't be happening if you weren't there. So if you weren't there, these situations wouldn't have evolved. So the only reason that she's not doing it herself is because it wouldn't be an issue if you weren't fucking here.
But why?
So you're just a big hassle.
Why does she, like, I guess that she, like, has a crush on him or whatever, but why does she just, like, pick up this loser from nowhere and
I think it's
take him
implied
on
that
an
because
adventure?
she's been there. She's been the outsider who's come in and then she found her people.
And I just, like, I didn't like, I guess my problem is I didn't like the main character. Like, how they characterized him.
Yeah, he's a bit of a douche.
Yeah. Like...
At one point you join a Fight Club skating group
Of course.
who are literally like, no shirt, no shoes.
Yeah.
They actually do
And
Fight Club.
That's one of the cool things about the game is that
That's how they teach you how to do manual tricks.
they make the shops like sort of part of the gameplay, and because like sometimes you'll go to that mission, they're like, you can't do this unless you have no hair, no shoe, no
shirt, no shoes.
no shirt, no shoes, no hair, and so you have to go shave your head.
No, you don't have to have no hair.
Oh,
You can have hair.
You have to go get rid of your shirt and get rid of your shoes, and then go back. And there's graffiti minigame where you can design your own graffiti.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot to do.
Yeah, sure.
Smash Mouth alright. So much to see. So much to do.
Well, it's so much to do. So
After
much
you
to
get
do.
done in Beverly Hill, in Hollywood, then you go to Beverly Hills. No, you do go to Beverly Hills. Then you go to Beverly Hills where you meet the crew,
Yeah.
which is Dave, Murph, and Boone. Then they introduce you to the skate ranch, which is where you're going to be sleeping on a dirty mat. I think it's implied that you're at first just sleeping on a couch they have
Yeah, sure.
in the middle of the fucking open.
Yeah.
Then and if you're not at the skate ranch, you're just sleeping on the street.
Yeah.
Then from there, you go back because they're like, there's a skate competition in downtown LA that you could probably enter and maybe win. So you go do that, which gets the attention of the local authorities, of the main mentor character, Iggy, who has outstanding warrants, and you mention his name at this skating competition, like, that's where he is. So they go arrest him.
Yeah, because they realize he's, like, still alive or whatever.
So while he's in jail, to make it up to him, you try to unearth Green Pipe's point. And in the process, he's like, dude, don't do that. I don't own that land. I'm squatting.
Yeah.
Which then costs him his home. So he gets pissy with you. And then you're like, well, I guess I better make it up to him.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? Is that the main character screws up, like, multiple times in what Ben's just described.
But everyone loves him.
No, not that. His solution to solve everything is to keep doing exactly what he was doing before.
Yeah.
Just completely wrecking up shit and, like, stealing a bunch of stuff and being... Like, I don't feel like he has any change in character.
He doesn't really learn.
Yeah, exactly. He just sort of keeps doing the same stuff over
Whereas
and
I will
over
admit,
again.
you do learn a lesson in Thug 1. There's a narrative there. Like, in the first Tony Hawk's Underground game, you learn that change is inevitable, and you've got to accept that.
And the
To
main
me, it
character...
sounds like you're playing as the bad guy.
You are.
Yeah, kind of.
And-
That's why I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't like
You're
playing
a
games
douche.
where I'm a bad dude. That's
And
why
it-
I'm not that into the GTA games. I just
You don't have to be.
don't relate to them, to the characters.
You like BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, but he's not. He's a bad guy in a different way. He's not like a murderer who goes out and deals drugs and steals and stuff. He's just
A flawed
a
human
flawed person, like an
Flawed
alcoholic,
Horseman.
like person who's kind of just super depressed.
You need to watch the new
being.
season.
In
Yeah,
Thug
maybe.
1, there's a moment where, like, because
But also, I'm not playing as him. I'm just watching him.
your character's, like, career sort of kind of explodes out of nowhere. And with that, there's a bit of, like, arrogance and stuff.
Yeah.
The moment that he realizes that, that Eric Sparrow stole the Hawaii tape.
He
And-
knows Eric stole the Hawaii tape
And
before. Like, you find that out surprisingly early in the game, and you just kind of let it slide. It's not until he strands you in fucking Russia.
no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a moment after he realizes that Eric Sparrow stole the tape, that he kind of has this sort of reflection on himself that it kind of humbles him to an extent, and because they assume after that, when he goes to Vancouver, that he'll be entering the amateur competition because he's
Sure.
clearly not a pro because he hasn't made his name, whereas Eric gets in because everyone thinks it's him in the Hawaii tape.
The Hawaii
Of
tape
course.
is Eric doing is your character doing a McTwist
Over
from
a
one
helicopter.
hotel roof to another hotel roof
Yeah.
over a helicopter.
Pretty neat.
And then
It's a McTwist.
It's a skating thing,
What does it look like?
like a twist.
it's sort
it
of
like
like
a
a
backflip?
it's a corkscrew while you're doing a melon. So you're like grabbing.
You're not doing a melon, you're doing an indie.
an indie.
You are just
You're
shouting
you're
words.
Board
Yeah.
here at feet.
Yes.
Grab board. Corkscrew.
Corkscrew. So flip while also rotating, and then land.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty neat.
Yeah, it's Tony Hawk's signature. It's
Um,
one of his. It's the move that kind of helped him establish his thing, and then he did the 900, and everyone forgot about the McTwist.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's a character arc where your character's sort of like doing all this reckless, dumb shit and getting more and more popular, and then Eric betrays him, and he sort of has to start at ground zero again, and that endears you to the character, and there's just no moment like that in American Wasteland. for
Sure.
me.
I
So-
don't think it. I think he's still equally cocky after Eric betrays him the first time, because he enters himself
I
in the
think
pro
he
tournament.
learns things.
He enters the pro tournament, and like your manager's like, "What are you doing?" And you go, "You're an amateur." He goes, "I just want a pro tournament." And then they give him a board, and he's like, "Cool, now I need to go get a shoe deal and get a fucking house."
Well,
And
that's
he's still
he
a
doesn't.
douche.
He doesn't do that. The other characters tell him he needs to do that. But then when he eventually comes back to his hometown, Eric still has all this money. He has the big fancy car, and your character's just kind of like a dude who likes skating.
At the local
So-
skate store.
I have like one more question.
Yeah.
Can I, if I were to play it, could I just put it in and play like 2-player? Here's a little map. Let's
They-
just
Yeah,
Dude, they
Shit.
have classic mode, which is just like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
cool. That's what I want.
So you can just do that in
Yeah.
the levels.
that's why I think American Wasteland is at the apex of the whole thing. Like, yeah, Thug 1 and 2 did have a classic mode, but
It's-
American
it-
Wasteland had that and so much more.
I will say for Thug 2, and it's kind of the same between Thug 2 and American Wasteland, that the classic mode in Thug 1 wasn't very good, but in Thug 2 and Thor, which is American Wasteland, the classic mode is, like, really fun.
Alright.
It's also like American Wasteland is like a where's where of previous Tony Hawk's Pro Skater levels.
Yeah.
And on that note, I've been Ben.
I've been confused.
And I've been the best damn skater people would know.
Makes sense.
Oh, you know what song we should have used? Here I am, doing everything I can, holding on to what I can, but then I'm a Superman.
Listening. To contact Phoenix and Ben, email them at fromahatpodcast@gmail.com or go to our Facebook or Twitter. Links are in the description.